Netflix's stock continues to spiral downwards as parents are coming to the realization of the transgender and inappropriately sexual content that the streaming platform is pushing on your kids. Now, we just did a story about this yesterday, but here are 3 completely separate clips to show you what this whole uproar is all about.
It took a while, but we finally found a file for a Bailey Del Vecchio. Is 32 Burn Hill Road still the current address? Yeah. Have you been giving him fluids? If he's dehydrated, we'll need to place an IV. Have him change into this.
I don't want.
Well...
I hear Solo's not feeling well. Let's take a look at the little man.
Can I please talk to you two outside? I know that you guys are busy, but as you would see, if you looked at her and not her chart, Bailey is not a boy. And by treating her like one, you are completely ignoring who she is. You're making her feel insignificant and humiliated. And that's not going to help her feel good or safe or calm. So, from here on out, please recognize her for who she is. And if at all possible, could you find me a non-blue hospital gown?
Apologies.
Banavi, tell us why you chose this delicious dress.
As a transberry, I love living out loud as my most authentic self. And I wanted to dress as bold and unique as I am, which, let's face it, is a tall order.
The truth is, Sammy, I've fallen for you. Like, hard. Real hard. I know. I heard you earlier. I just wanted to hear you say it again because I've been wanting to hear you say that since I don't even know when.
Yes. Guess what? Nothing. Maybe we should go.
You two are finally official!
CBN's Billy Hallowell joins us now. Billy, what should we make of this?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's always hard to tell what's driving stocks down, right? So people will say, well, we don't know for sure. And you're seeing that in a lot of the coverage. But when you have somebody as powerful and influential as Elon Musk going out and telling people to cancel their Netflix, and not just telling them to do it, doing it himself and encouraging other influencers to do it, that is going to have an impact. And especially when you light a match under something like this, an issue like this, where parents are already activated, as we talked about yesterday, this is a big deal for parents. They do not want to feel like their kids are being tricked into an ideology, presented something inappropriate. Your assumption, again, is that you can put your kids in front of Netflix and it will be okay. Well, that is not an assumption that you can have. And so what we're seeing, I think, is people react. And even if it's a small number of people, which I don't think it is, I think a lot of people are horrified by this enough to cancel a subscription. And let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff on Netflix that people like to watch. So the fact that people are doing this should send a message to the streaming giant.
And here's the thing. Myself, Billy, and you watching this, we vote with our wallets. I mean, just look at Target. Just look at Bud Light. People that have, the majority of Americans are like, no, we don't want this. Start voting with their wallet, and these companies start responding. I mean, look at Target compared to a few years ago. Totally different store. Bud Light, they switched from Dylan Mulvaney to Shane Gillis to reach back to their core audience. So here's the thing. You canceling Netflix, that makes a difference. At the end of the day, these people that are making these decisions are going to make those decisions regardless. But when the money dries up, that's something they can't ignore. And here's the thing. The message that they're pushing isn't even opaquely or kind of is this anti-biblical? This is explicitly, by definition, anti-biblical. One of the foundational concepts in the Bible is found in Genesis 1:27. God created mankind in his own image, which I would argue is the reason that the entire planet values human life, because there are a lot of other worldviews, Islam, Hinduism, obviously atheism, that doesn't have an intrinsic value of all human beings. The reason, even if you're not a Christian, or Jew that has this value of all human life. I think it's been because you've been so inundated with a Judeo-Christian worldview that you don't know where it comes from. And it comes from this verse. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Ready? Here it is. Male and female, he created them. So the idea of pushing an agenda that is explicitly against this is by definition anti-biblical. And so you're going to be losing this massive Christian audience if you keep pushing this stuff. And so to me, Billy, we vote with our wallet. And I think it's like, will this really make a difference? Yeah, I think it will.
You know, I think it makes a difference. And I think the thing at the core of this is you have an issue that was already controversial, but once you start bringing children into it, that is the part of this that has set it all on fire. I think people were willing to look past things, ignore things. When you're realizing, and a lot of this content, from what we understand, has been on Netflix for a long time, for a few years. But I think people are realizing this is targeting children. Children are innocent. They don't understand these things. And that feels and is very dangerous. I mean, I think through, and we talked about this yesterday, but the fact that these people really believe, some of them, that by putting this content out there, they're making people feel loved and accepted. They're doing the right thing. But when you're talking about children, I think of, Jesus's words. You look at Luke 17, 1-2. Jesus said to his disciples, things can cause people to stumble, are bound to come, but woe to anyone through whom they come. It will be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of these little ones to stumble. And I share that verse because you've got to be thinking about the impact that you are having on young people and children. And that is what this is really about. I think that is the line in the sand that even people who are super progressive or even super liberal or not Christians, even a lot of those people are saying, no, this is not okay for children.